Hello, welcome to One Africa Mission with your brother Dobia Anzanse. Please, if you are new here, please try to subscribe to our YouTube channel, One Africa Mission. Join the mission. We are missionaries. We are young Africans, and our mission is to fight for the unification of Africa. Our mission is to see that a united Africa become a reality in our lifetimes. So we are missionaries. We are on a mission. So join the mission. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, One Africa Mission, and also follow us on Facebook, One Africa Mission. Join the mission. Bring your ideas, bring your knowledge, bring your intellect, bring your energy. Let us all come together to fight for this unification of Africa, because it is only a united Africa, we believe, that can bring an end to the suffering of African people all over the world. It is only a united Africa that can prepare Africa for the future that is, for the better future that is ahead of us. And if we are not able to unite, hundreds and hundreds of years to come, the children of Africa will continue to be a subject of humiliation all over the world, as we can see today. So we shouldn't repeat the mistakes of our forefathers. We have to do everything we can in our power to see a united Africa become a reality. So I thank you very much, those of you who have already subscribed to our YouTube channel, who are sharing our content. We thank you very much. And for those of you who haven't really got time out of your busy schedules, we urge you to join the movement. Let us all move together to fight for this unification of Africa. Thank you very much. So today, it's sad times for Africa. It's sad times for Sudan. We have allowed Russia and America to take their proxy war from Ukraine to Africa. Because what is going on, the madness that is going on in Sudan is nothing but the proxy war between Russia and the Western world that is going on today. So the question is, as African people, when are we going to learn? Why do we always allow history to repeat itself? Because this is not the first time that we have become victims of these white supremacists fighting among themselves. During the Cold War, this was the same battleground they used Africa. Many of our citizens suffer because of their Cold War. Many of our leaders were overthrown, some of them assassinated because they couldn't pick a side. Example like Patrice Lumumba, which still today, we, the citizens of Congo, are still suffering from what happened. The decision to assassinate Patrice Lumumba was because of the Cold War. So why do we allow ourselves, after many years, that we could not learn from history, and then we have allowed ourselves to be used again as a battleground to settle their white supremacy? What is happening in Sudan is so disheartening, is disturbing, that we have allowed ourselves, the children of Africa, to die just for the good of America or NATO and then Russia. Why do we have to do that? Why do we have to sacrifice young Africans, not for the good of Africa, but for the good of the West and Russia? Africa, when are we going to learn? It's so sad that you see Sudanese children all over the world, all over Europe, suffering purposely because of decisions like this, purposely because of crises like this. Today, as we speak, Britain, France, America are evacuating their citizens from Sudan. So they have put us in this mess, and today they are evacuating their citizens, because to them, a single British or American or French citizen is far, far better and important than the entire country of Sudan. So they have we have allowed ourselves to be used by them, and after they have put us in this mess, today they are evacuating their citizens. So they don't care. We can do whatever we want to ourselves. Why Africa? Why Sudan? Why do you allow yourselves to be used by these white supremacists to settle their supremacy? Because this madness that is going on, it got nothing to do with us. Why do we have to fight or sacrifice ourselves for the good of America, for the good of Europe, for the good of Russia. Why do we have to do that? When are we going to learn from history? When are we going to learn from history and stop sacrificing ourselves? Not for the good of us, but for the good of other people. As I said, during the Cold War, that was what happened. So we should have learned from that and said, no, we cannot. You cannot come to divide this general support Russia, that general support America. So we have to clash, sacrifice young Africans, not for the good of Africa, but for the good of Russia and then America. What is Russia going to do for Sudan? What is America can do for Sudan? And that should allow us to sacrifice the youth of Africa for them. We are calling on the African Union to act as fast as they can to bring an end to this, because this madness that is going on got nothing to do with us, and we shouldn't allow ourselves as Africans to suffer just for the good of America and Russia to settle their differences. At any given time, they can rebuild themselves, but we are still struggling as African people. Sudanese people are being disrespected all over the world. I've come across many Sudanese who are mentally damaged, purposely because of how they have gone through the Mediterranean Sea to France, to Britain, to wherever, and every part of Europe, just to seek for greener pastures, while Sudan is more greener than any of these countries. But just for us to put aside or to use our brains and tell the Western world we don't need no more guns to kill ourselves, we want to come together to build Sudan for the good of us. We are there taking guns, sacrificing youth of Africa just for the good of America and Russia. What good can these countries do to us? It is about time we wake up to the realization that we cannot continue sacrificing ourselves. We have done it for too long. It's about time we bring an end to that. I thank you very much. This is really disturbing times. We pray that these two generals will come to the realization that those youth that they are sacrificing, lives are more important, just as America value the youth of America, just as Russia value the citizens of Russia, just as Britain value the citizens of Britain. Look at what they are doing to us today. Today they are evacuating their citizens. They are evacuating their citizens so that we can do whatever we want to ourselves. That was what they did in Rwanda. They'll put you in a mess and then they'll take their citizens. And then at the end of the day, what will they do? They will do movies and portray you as animals, killing and slaughtering yourselves. When are we going to stop that? We call on the leadership of African Union. We call on the two generals to put these guns, to silence these guns and stop sacrificing the youth of Africa for the good of other people. Thank you very much for coming around. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and also join our mission, One Africa Mission. Let us fight all these things that is going on. It is because Africa is not united. It is because we are not powerful. We are weak. So America can decide who should fight for them in Africa, and Russia can decide who should fight for them in Africa. If we are united, these countries will be beggars to us rather than we begging them. Africa need to be united, and then we, the youth of Africa, if we want to bring an end to the suffering of the youth of Africa, we must join the mission to bring a united Africa to a reality. Thank you very much for coming around.